Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Today on the Yum and the Restless, Adam and Kyle cross paths. Kyle leaves Diane in tears, and Sally asks Adam if he slept with Chelsea. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. On Crimson Light's patio, Sally looks up when she sees Billy. She notices he seems tense as he grabs a coffee and sits down. He admits he's had a hell of a day and asks how she's doing. Sally says home doesn't feel much like home these days. He's sorry. Sally asks if he's there to see Chelsea. Billy says he's not. She wants to take a break. Sally asks if he'll camp out there in case she comes down. Billy admits the not knowing is starting to drive him a little bit crazy. Sally says, "Because we know, don't we?" Billy thinks Chelsea will tell him when she's ready. She claims to be stressed out about Connor, who seems pretty good, but she's still spinning out. Sally says they both heard her talk about the guilt from that one night. Neither of them will come clean, which is leaving them with thoughts they don't want to have. Sally can't keep doing this. If Billy wants to wait, fine, but she's done. We deserve answers. Now. In the park, Kyle texts Claire to thank her for helping him house hunt. She texts him back that it was so much fun. Adam appears and snarks. "Great." Kyle smirks. "Nice to see you too." Adam came there to think, but it looks like the spot's already taken. Kyle calls, "Adam, wait." He notes that Newman Media is giving a lot of publicity to Glissade. Adam asks if he's complaining. Kyle says not at all. Keep up the good work. Adam warns it's not his personal PR machine, but I'm sure you can use all the help you can get. He wonders if Kyle's managing to keep up with Audra Charles. He can't figure out why she'd want to work with him. Kyle says Glissade would be nothing without his expertise. Adam chuckles. "I think Jebot's getting along just fine without you." Kyle reminds him they're on the same side. Adam tells Kyle that the only side he's on is his own. If he likes the free press, he should just thank him instead of being a condescending ass. Jack and Diane arrive at the Abbott house and decide to have a nightcap. Diane asks if Jack came up with a plan to find out if Victor's gotten to Kyle. Jack says if Victor's the mystery investor behind Glissade, they have to find out what he's after. Diane thinks he always wants to make his enemies pay. Jack snorts that he's once again the enemy. He's done some sleuthing of his own, and noticed that Newman Media is doing puff pieces and podcasts on Glissade. Diane says, of course, all roads lead back to Victor. Jack says Adam being reassigned to Newman Media never made sense to him. He and Nick were very successful working together. But Victor suddenly moved him. Nicky had every intention of returning. He suspects Victor wanted Newman Media to handle something that Nicky wouldn't agree to do. Diane guesses he tasked Adam with doing his dirty work. Jack calls Adam, who is still in the park with Kyle, and asks him to get together for a drink. In the park, Kyle asks Adam, "What was that about?" Adam says it was a personal matter. Kyle hopes Connor's cold. Summer filled him in. Adam says Connor's doing great. Kyle is glad to hear it. Seeing your kid struggle is the worst. Adam sighs and opens up about feeling helpless throughout. He notes Kyle's been through it with Harrison too, and mentions the kidnapping. Kyle can relate to the feeling of helplessness. They agree they do what they need to for their kids. Adam says, "That's what fathers do." Well, most fathers. Kyle complains about his dad standing by while his mother fired him. Adam asks if he's heading up Glissade because he didn't get his way. Kyle sneers, "At least I'm not so desperate for my father's approval that I cling to the fringes of a family who doesn't want me and wait for whatever scraps I'm thrown." Adam says he's earned his position. Kyle's only qualifications at Jabot were his last name and his father's generosity. Kyle doesn't need Jabot or his father anymore. It's very freeing not to give a damn. You should try it. He thanks Adam again for the free press. He knows Victor's doing it to knock Jabot down a few notches. "I'll take it." Adam's just doing his job as he sees fit. Kyle says, "Sure you are." Adam tells him, "Good luck to you, Kyle. You're going to need it." He tells him how lucky he is to have Jack for a father. Being a dad himself, you'd think he would recognize that. At the Abbott house, Jack tells Diane that he's not asking Adam to betray his father. He's just asking him for information. Diane warns that Victor would see either of those things as a betrayal. She warns Jack to be careful to not give Victor more reason to come after him or their family. Victor might have enlisted Adam in some plan against us. She fears Adam could deliberately send him down the wrong path. He might not be the ally you think he is. Jack says he can handle Adam. Let me worry about it. Everything's going to be oak. Just then, Kyle walks in. Jack says he's on his way to have a drink with an old friend and exits. Diane asks if Kyle had a good dinner with Claire. It looked like they had a lot to talk about. Kyle says she was helping him find a new home. Diane asks if it's really so unbearable there. At Crimson Lights, on the patio, Sally tells Billy they deserve some honesty. We both know the one answer that will explain all of this. Billy can't go there yet as there's a chance they're off base. Sally questions if he really thinks that. She worried when Adam and Chelsea started spending time together that they would bond. The pain and intensity of losing Ava is exactly what brought the two of them back together. What if that's what happened in Baltimore? Billy grimaces as she goes on. What if this brought all those feelings back? What if it led to that one night? It's already changed everything. Adam meets Jack in the jazz lounge. Jack asks about Connor and Adam says he's optimistic. Jack has faith in him and Chelsea as a team when it comes to their son. Adam snarks. No thanks to Billy. They sit and Jack tells Adam their friendship has always been important to him. They can count on each other. He's hoping that he can help him out with some information. Anything he tells him will be in the strictest of confidence. Adam's not sure he likes the sound of that. What's on your mind? Jack says, you, Victor, Newman Media, and my son. At the Avid house, Kyle doesn't want to argue with Diane, who wants to fix things. She asks about him and Summer getting along. What changed? Kyle says they decided to put Harrison first and spare him the ugliness of a custody battle, like the one you dragged me through. Diane is glad he's doing better than she did. She wants him to stay and tells him he's trying to prove a point he doesn't need to prove. Do you really doubt our love? In the jazz lounge, Jack says his son has been bitter and hostile since Diane fired him. Adam admits he just ran into him. The bitterness is no joke. He gets the feeling he's going to weaponize Glissade against Jabba. Jack's convinced that Victor is preying on Kyle's frustration and manipulating him. Adam asks if he has proof. Jack says not yet. I'm asking you, what do you think your father is up to right now? I have to find some way to stop it. Adam counters, or not. Jack, you have been incredibly generous to Kyle his entire life. He asked and received. He's the golden boy of the Golden Abbott family. Maybe he needs a lesson. Maybe he needs a crash course in real life. Jack doesn't want that to happen at the hands of Victor Newman, and Adam should understand that better than anybody. Can he give him something to protect his son? Adam says his father's trust is hard-earned and Jack's asking him to betray. Jack sees his son on a path to tragedy, and he's not going to stand by and watch it happen. Adam argues that Kyle is making his own choices. Jack says Kyle is desperate and Victor can smell it. Adam's not certain what his father's endgame is, but when he asked him to be CEO of Newman Media, he told him he wouldn't use the company to go after Jabba. He'd assured him that wasn't his plan. Jack's skeptical. Adam admits he's been tasked with creating a buzz around Glissade. Jack feels that means Victor definitely has a financial stake in it. He figures he's the sole investor and Kyle and Audra are figureheads. He's sure Victor is out to get him, and is using Kyle and Audra to do it. Adam vows he'll do anything he can to protect Jack. Jack asks if he'll do the same for his son. Adam will keep his eyes and ears open. Jack thanks him. It's nice to know he has a friend he can count on. On the patio in Crimson Lights, Sally is done being nice, and she'll demand the truth. Billy can't give Chelsea an ultimatum. Sally says he can wait if he wants. But if we don't get answers, Billy replies, then how does our relationship stand a chance? Sally says there's only one way to find out. She can't wait another minute. Billy's sure Adam will keep lying to her face. Sally says he'll have to look her in the eye and see everything that is at stake for us and make a choice. I just really hope it's the right one. At the Abbott house, Kyle says his parents probably still love him. Diane gops, probably. Kyle continues, but only if I follow the rules, right? Take a backseat while you can have a job you're not qualified for. He gets fired and has to act like everything's oak. I won't do it. I'm not a hypocrite. Diane knows he's hurt, but can't they try and move past what happened at Jabba? He's co-CEO of Glissade now. Isn't that enough? Kyle says her apologies don't mean a thing. The more she begs him to stay, the more he wants to get the hell out. Diane cries that she'll do anything to end this battle. Kyle's ending it by moving out with Harrison. Diane protests about what it means to have Harrison living there. It's as if she's been given a second chance. Kyle reminds her she's the reason she needs a second chance. She is the one who took him from his dad and died instead of raising him. It's not my responsibility or Harrison's to make up for the choices you made. Diane wails. That's not what I'm saying. I am so sorry. I am so sorry for the mistakes I've made, but can't we just? Kyle says she knows that she screwed him over, and she won't admit it. Where is the love in that? He walks out. Diane sobs. On Crimson Light's patio, Billy flashes to overhearing Chelsea and Adam talking about the tension and guilt from that one night. He remembers confronting her about it and her asking for space. Sighing, Billy stands up, just as Chelsea walks in. Please tell me you're not waiting for me. Billy says he was going to give it another 10 minutes before he left. Sally arrives at Adam's apartment and lets herself in. He's in the kitchen, smiling. There you are. She dodges his open arms and says she went by the office. But he wasn't there, so she came home. Where were you? At the Abbott house. Jack gets home, and Diane asks how it went with Adam. Jack can tell by the look of her that things didn't go well with Kyle after he left. She's worried he'll never forgive them. Diane asks what he learned. Jack says Adam all but admitted that Victor's behind Glissade. If he knows what he's up to, he wouldn't tell him. He's sure Victor will use his media division to promote Glissade. And then, if I had to guess, Victor will try to tear down Jambot. Diane asks how they can protect Kyle and the company. Jack feels they have to take Victor's power over Kyle away. They'll have to play Victor's game against him. We crippled Glissade. At Adam's place, he tells Sally that he met with Jack. They discuss his suspicions, and then Adam asks, "How are you?" Sally doesn't appreciate him telling her she's paranoid. Adam doesn't know what to say to convince her. Sally says the truth would convince her. I am your partner. I love you, and I deserve the truth. So I need you to answer a simple question. Yes or no? Did you sleep with Chelsea in Baltimore? At Crimson Lights, Billy offers Chelsea a tea, but she balks. They discuss Connor being good before she says, I'm sorry that things are so weird between us. It's my fault. I'm sorry. He says it's all right. She says nothing is all right. Billy asks what that means. Look, I know how strong you are, and I know how deep you feel things. He can see that whatever this is eating her up inside. Just know that you can talk to me. You can tell me anything, and whatever it is, we will deal with it together. Chelsea cries. I can't do this anymore. The lies, the running away. I am so ashamed. Billy asks, what is it? Chelsea cries, I betrayed your trust. Your love. I did something horrible, and I hate myself for it. Billy, also crying, takes her in his arms. Next on The Young and the Restless, Chelsea makes a shocking confession. Adam stands his ground, and Cameron plays games with Sharon.